Hey you guys, it's Jocy. I'm going to be doing a comparison video today between Miniverse and Mini Brands Create. I thought it would be fun to go through some of the items and see their similarities and differences in maybe look or sizing. So I just went through the Mini Brands Create recipes and pulled out any items that I thought Miniverse had something comparable to. So I think it's going to be fun to check that out. Before I start, I've gotten a lot of views lately and a lot of new subscribers, and I love watching YouTube videos. So if you have a channel where you post content, I would love to check it out. So you can leave a message down below in the comment section and I'll go ahead and check out your channel. It doesn't matter what kind of content you do. It doesn't have to be Miniverse or Mini Brands related. It could be gardening videos, cooking videos, videos about your pets, whatever content you do, I would love to check it out. So go ahead and leave a comment down below. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. There are a lot of items, so I'm going to go ahead and try to go through it quickly. Let's go ahead and start with the tables that they provide. Miniverse's is really big. It has a lot of room for you to work on. And then Mini Brands is very tiny, just enough room to fit the item that you're working on. I definitely would prefer to use this to make my recipes. Okay, next are the placemats. Mini Brands just has this one. It's standard in every capsule. And then with Miniverse, they have so many different ones. This is just a sample of them. They have for different meals of the day, different cuisines, and for the different dishes. So I really like the Miniverse placemats. They are very cute and can style your dish after you're done making it and make an even cuter presentation. Okay, next it's time for the tongs. Here are the Miniverse tongs, and here are the Mini Brands tongs. They look more like tongs. I can't say one works better than the other. I think they both are not really good for picking up things or working with, so I don't prefer either one of these. So yeah, here are their tongs. Okay, next, I showed this in a previous video comparing the cheesecakes. Here is Miniverse's cheesecake. It's flat on the top. It has a distinctive crust on the bottom. Has slight texture, but it's pretty smooth. And here is the bottom. Here is the Mini Brands Create cheesecake. It doesn't have as much of a distinctive crust, bottom crust, but it has more texture in the cheesecake, and I think the top looks more realistic. They are pretty much the same diameter and the same height. The Mini Brands Create is just slightly higher because of the dome top. Out of these, I do prefer the Mini Brands Create cheesecake. Okay, next we have the sponge cakes. Okay, so the sponge cakes have a big difference. Obviously, the Miniverse one is just a solid piece. It kind of looks like a wheel of cheese, actually, and not too much texture on this. So this is the Miniverse sponge cake. This is the Mini Brands sponge cake. Obviously it's different because this is 2 layers to make a layered cake, but I really like the detail on these. It really does look like a sponge cake, especially from more farther away. So I prefer the Mini Brands Create sponge cake. Next is the lattice pie crust. These aren't for the same desserts. I think this one is for like a cherry pie, and this is one is for an apple pie, but since they're both a lattice crust, I decided to compare them in the same size. This is the Miniverse one. It does have texture inside, and on the bottom it's flexible, and then here is the top. It does show some browning as if you were to bake it, but kind of flat with the details. And then here is the Mini Brands Create. So I think this one has a lot more detail in the crust, but the big difference is in the tops, as you can see. I prefer this one. There are details with the flowers on the edges, and then the braided lattices. I think this one is nicer to look at. Okay, since we were talking about the apple pie, they both have apple slices. I do like the color of the Mini Brands Create ones, but I like the cut of the Miniverse apple slices. So they are kind of the same size. A lot of people want to try making the tart from Mini Brands. So let's go ahead and look at the tarts. Here is the Mini Brands tart. I really like how it looks. I like the little fork indentations on the bottom of the crust, and it's very textured. Here is the Miniverse one. Very teeny and not a lot of details in the crust. It's just flat and smooth, basically. Here is a side-by-side difference in the sizes. You can fit this one inside of that one. Okay, a popular item is the ramen bowls, or the ramen. Here, this one is already an open pack. So the ramen noodles from Miniverse, you've probably seen them before, are little separate noodle pieces, and you can do a lot of things. You can arrange these in the bowl however you want. You can do frozen moments with these, and then you can also remix them into different recipes. So they come like this. I haven't actually opened this ramen packet from Mini Brands, so let's check out what they look like. Okay, so here is Mini Brands ramen. It's just a solid piece of noodles. So you don't do anything as far as arranging the noodles. You just basically put this in the bowl. So I think the sizing looks more realistic, but I like the separate pieces in Miniverse. It gives you more to do and to play with. I never opened that packet, so I was surprised to see the nori that came with it. It just looks like a printed sheet, a printed piece of paper. I don't know how well you can see that. See, it's just like a printed piece of paper. And this is supposed to be the nori that we put in our ramen. I'm not a fan of this. I don't have anything Miniverse to compare this with because Miniverse doesn't have any nori. They just have furikake, which I prefer. Okay, so here are the ramen eggs. I prefer the one on the right, the mini brands. I think it looks more realistic. I wish though that it was a darker color on the outside, because real ramen eggs are soaked in like a soyu marinade, and it changes the color of the outside. So I do like that on that, but this egg looks more realistic than this one. Okay, here are the size of the whipped cream canisters. We can't really compare what's inside because they're two totally different things, but I just wanted to show you the difference in the size of the canisters that they come in. Okay, so here are their scoops of ice cream. I just picked a Miniverse one that was similar in color. Here are the difference in sizes of the ice creams. There's a big difference, but they look similar. Just one is much bigger than the other. Here are what the bottoms look like. So those are the ice creams. Here are their little dessert bowls. Here's Miniverse's. I think it's really pretty looking. And here is Mini Brands. I think it looks elegant, so I don't have a preference, but here is the two dessert bowls. Okay, here are some of their serving dishes. Here is one of the standard plates that Miniverse has. They don't have a round one, so I just picked this one. They do also have a rectangular plate, but this is the closest round one that they have. And Mini Brands comes with two, either this diner looking plate or this little fancy looking plate. I really like this one. I think it's really pretty. Okay, they both have a rectangular serving plate. This is Miniverse's. And Mini Brands is slightly smaller, but it has this textured top. I think I prefer this one. I think it looks nicer to display your food on. Let's take a look at their nozzles. They both have various sizes. Miniverse has two, one with a really tiny hole and one with a slightly bigger hole. And then Mini Brands has three different kinds, one large, one with a slanted top, and one just regular. Here are the utensils. They look basically the same. I just found Mini Brands to be slightly sturdier and a little bit longer. Okay, let's compare the cherries next. So here are Miniverse's cherries. They come in different shades, I guess. And these are the Mini Brands cherries. They are all the same color, even the stem is the same color. Kind of reminds me of Hi-Ho Cheerio. Is that the name of that game? Yeah. So here are the two cherries. I do prefer these, even though these have stems, but I like that these ones come in different shades. Okay, let's check out the whole strawberries. But this one really looks more realistic. It has a texture on it. You can see the little seeds, but they are about the same size. Okay, we have more strawberries to compare. They're not exactly the same. One is sliced strawberries and one is halved strawberries, but then you can see the middle of them, so that's why I picked these. Again, these are not exactly the same because these are the Miniverse ones and they're sliced, and these are halved, but I really like how the inside of this looks. You know what they both have in common also? The tong sup. It's so hard to use them, and my hand is cramping up just holding these strawberries. So yeah, they should both just get rid of their tongs. Okay, we got a couple more fruits to compare, and then we will be all done. So this one has a mixture of all different kinds of fruits. Further kiwis, this one is a slice and halved kiwi. And then here's the other kiwi. This one is translucent because I'm holding up to the light and I could see the other side. This one is more opaque. But the Miniverse one is pretty hard. There's a little give. But this Mini Brands one is very bendable. So I don't know what it's made out of. Here is a size of the Mini Brands blueberry, and then here is a size of the Miniverse blueberries. And the Miniverse blueberries come in different shades of blue, and Mini Brands are all the same color. Dark blue. Okay, I couldn't hold the tongs anymore. My hands were starting to hurt. But here are the raspberries, the Miniverse ones on the bottom, and then the Mini Brands on top. The Mini Brands ones are huge compared to the Miniverse ones. I prefer these ones, the Miniverse ones, because I just like the variation in shades of color. And I've never seen a raspberry look that color. But yeah, those are the berries. Okay, the Miniverse mint comes in two styles, a single leaf and then the double leaf. The Mini Brands one comes like this. I like the way this looks. Okay, that was fun. I like seeing the side-by-side comparison of a bunch of the different items between Miniverse and Mini Brands Create. As you can see, there were some that I liked from Miniverse. There were some that I liked from Mini Brands Create. So at least this way you can see them more up close and know what you're getting into if you do plan to get one or the other. But I think it was fun. I think I compared mostly everything that they had that were similar. But if there was anything I'm missing, leave a comment down below and maybe I'll just add that to the end of a future video. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys again for watching. Till next time, have a great day.